Hey everybody, Michelle Walling here from In5d.com and howtoexitthematrix.com, and today I wanted to bring you some information on how to avoid negative harvesting and reincarnation. And I have a few notes here that I'm going to be referring to because I don't want to forget anything. This is a pretty important topic. So what is negative harvesting? Negative harvesting is what the Law of One has referred to, both negative and positive harvesting. And I really don't have a lot of expertise on this, but I just wanted to share with you what I have uncovered, and that is that there may be a group of beings that would like to negatively harvest souls so that they can continue to have an energy source. Now that won't be here on the 3D earth, because the earth will be shifting her vibration, so it will not be possible for them to exist here on the planet. However, what they'd like to do is they'd like to draw you off planet, and there are a couple of places that could occur in the astral realm. I know George Kavasilis has talked about traveling in the astral realms, and he has seen these spheres of light creation in the astral realms that could be heaven for one of them. One of them could be what has been described as the Summerland, where everything is green, beautiful. You can create, anything out of nothing. You can join those types of creations. You could, if you're very religious, if you're tied to worshiping Jesus, there's definitely a being, a quote demigod, who has created a reality that you could join. You could go there and worship Jesus and give your energy to that being that created that construct. So that is really negative harvesting would include trying to draw you off of the planet. So that could include those, from what I understand from David Wilcock, talking about those who want to activate their Merkaba to leave the planet. I mean, there's two sides to everything, okay? There's a positive and a negative for everything. I'm noticing for everything. I mean, the Merkaba is not a bad thing, but if you want to activate it to leave the planet in a negative ascension harvesting program, then there's the downside to the Merkaba. The Merkaba is the energy vehicle that you will be able to travel. Once you've ascended in vibration here on the planet, you will use your vehicle to be able to travel around. But trying to activate it now to leave the planet would kind of like leave the planet open for, if they want to, get everybody off the planet or kill everybody off, that gives a certain group of extraterrestrials or archons the ability to take the planet over. So it just seems like, to me, in my opinion, we would want to stay here and raise our vibration with the planet and go through a shift in frequency with the planet. So this is just my opinion of it, and so I really thought that I would share this. Let's see. What about reincarnation? Okay, so what you do and where you go and when you will leave this planet is an individual choice, and a lot of it has to do with your soul's your oversoul's complete experiences, how many lives you've had, what kind of experience you've brought back to your oversoul, and how your oversoul can then share that with the ultimate source creator, because we are all here experiencing for source, because we are fractals of source, and we're sending those experiences back to source. It also depends on how far you might have gotten in this third dimensional construct, whether it be in this lifetime or in all the lifetimes that you may have had here. It depends on if you came here from another universe or another galaxy or another planet in order to help humanity as they awaken and to spread information about the times that we're in, and how important vibration is. So it does have everything to do with your vibrational frequency at the time of moving or shifting or dying, however it is that you are going to experience this time that we're in. So there are some people that may be leaving their body, and if that happens to you, I just want to speak to you to let you know, in my opinion, what is important about leaving your body. Okay, so some people who leave their body now or in the next year or whatever, in the next couple of years, I mean, I'm not putting any time frame on this, but you may find yourself needing to come back, or planning to come back as an infant or as a young child during this shift. So if that's the case, of course, you would have to go through the reincarnation system. Now, there's a couple of ways. I mean, there's what we've talked about, the false light reincarnation trap, where you are basically given a life review, and then you decide what you want to do. You choose your parents again, and what lessons that you want to learn and all that. To go through that, you could definitely do it that way. Maybe the only choice, I don't know, but I know some people came here with their memories intact. So I'm thinking that there must be some kind of backdoor reincarnation to be able to either fool those who want to send you through their system and wipe your memory, which is a hardship thing, so they can steal your energy because you're incarnating into a lifetime and you don't remember who you are or what you're supposed to do. Or, find some kind of backdoor trap. Or perhaps if you were to do this, to raise your vibration enough that when you leave your body, when you sever the tie to the physical body and your astral body and your mental mind, you could possibly go home and then figure out from there how you get back here in the back door. So those are just some imaginative ideas that I've had as far as, and from what other people have said. So let's just say that this is your last Earth incarnation for sure. And you're like, okay, I ain't coming back here. Well, one thing you want to make sure that you do, especially if you know that you're going to pass, is to make sure that you're not getting energy harvested from you. You want to put a stop to that. And you also want to try to reclaim as much energy as you can before you go, so you can actually have energy to move. One of the things that has happened to us, for those of us who have had many Earth lifetimes, is that we were killed under we were killed so many times, and our energy was just zapped from us in particular lifetimes, especially all of the lifetimes through the Dark Ages. So in war or poverty or famine or disease and all that horrible stuff. Well, our energy was zapped from us, or perhaps if we died, around the 1920s, 1930s, 1940s, when they had morphine. Morphine, from what I understand, it really puts you in a dull state to where when you do step out of your body, you're just sluggish and slow, and you just don't have any energy, and you're kind of, you may be earthbound for a while. And that's another thing that you can do, by the way, is you can stay earthbound and figure out what's going on. The main thing is, if you don't want to reincarnate, you just want to stay away from the white light, the bright white light tunnel. And what usually happens if you have a lower vibration when you pass, you will be magnetically drawn to the tunnel, to the white light, because that would be a reincarnation thing. You just don't have any energy or knowledge to not. But things are a changing. We do know about this now, so You want to try to keep your vibration as high as possible through death. If you have to pass, it's not such a bad thing. You're basically going to be stepping right out of your body. It'll feel like you have a body because you'll be in your astral body, and you'll want to think yourself home. If you don't want to come back, you want to think yourself home, and you will start to move towards where you need to go. Home may be, for our interim purposes, it may be another planet that you had lifetimes on. It may be a spaceship where you have family. It may be another galaxy. It may be another universe. Depends on what your vibration is, how many times you've returned home, quote unquote, and whether you can get through the barriers, whether the barriers are even up anymore. Since I'm not an astral traveler and I don't do a lot of, I don't go looking for exits. Basically, I'm not familiar with it, but I've heard of people like George Kavasilis. I've heard of people having near-death experiences and talking about a barrier that is around, it's a frequency barrier around the planet that they were able to move through. Also, if you connect with your higher self and source, if you just think that, from what I understand, your higher self can actually punch a hole through the frequency barrier, and you would move through that way. And that's where a lot of people like Carla Fox, a lot of people like Kelly Coffey, they've had their experiences where they've gone back to source. And ultimately, going back to source can even mean several things for people. I mean, you may go back for a visit, and then you may, decide, okay, well, I came back. Oh, it's so nice to be here. So nice to be recalibrated and in that loving feeling, but there's really nothing going on here. So I think I'd like to go back to Earth, or I think I'd like to go to another planet, or I think I'm ready to move on to a whole new experience. I've had enough of that third dimensional stuff. So it just really depends on what your soul's purpose and goal is at this time for this incarnation as to where you're going to go. So it's really important to know who you are. I know David Icke has a book called Remember Who You Are, and it's like one of the most important things. And the challenge is that some of us don't have our memories yet of who we are, where we're from, what we're here to do. I know that all we can, some, like for me, for instance, I definitely have had a lot of psychic readings. I've had, I've had people, tell me they've done Akashic readings, and so I have maybe an idea of where I've been, but I know who I am. I'm a fractal of Source here having this experience. I have an oversoul that has a conglomerate of experiences that I'm connecting with, and I have a higher self that's outside of this matrix that's helping me. So knowing who you are and making that reconnection with who you are as an aspect of Source makes all the difference in the world as to, when you're thinking about what you're here to do. We're not all here for the same reasons, but those who have connected with me before know that I feel like that I'm here to help the earth and humanity and myself again go through another shift. And this shift will be waves of energy that are coming to the planet, and eventually it's going to shift me right out of this reality to where I don't have to deal with these astral beings, these archons, these tricksters, and this type of living. In my opinion, what's going on with the planet right now, it can't be fixed in this consciousness. That's why there's waves of up and down of cycles of time where when things get really bad, I mean, I just can't imagine how it could get any worse with radiation and pollution and the food and the water supply and the air and everything, and people getting sick. Some of my really, really good friends, metaphysical leaders, spiritual leaders, people, activists, I have 3 friends right now that have cancer, and it's all about your vibration and how you what your soul's purpose is, what your soul's path is, and whether you have it in you to fight this and to raise your vibration. Cancer simply cannot exist in a high vibrational body. And so, I just want to do a side note on that to people who are having some physical illnesses and diseases. Basically, if you listen to your body can tell you where the last vestiges of stuck energy is, because it is so important right now to work on yourself and to clear those last vestiges of energy, because when we do have a big wave of electromagnetic energy or consciousness, a high frequency, come across the planet, every wave that we get has pushed us a little bit farther and has helped us to see what it is that we needed to clear. And this is the time to really pay attention. There are two articles I want to mention here. One is Physical Pains and Their Metaphysical Meanings, and that's on In5d.com. And if you, the second one is Metaphysical Explanations of Specific Aches, Pains, and Sicknesses. If you go to In5d.com and you use the search button, you can just type in pains, P-A-I-N-S, and it will show metaphysical meanings of different areas in your body. If you have pains, illnesses, cancer, disease, that everything is about energy, everything. And we know this. And when, for instance, when I had hip pain, at night, I couldn't sleep, and I worked on it myself. I worked really hard on clearing this, and I had a conversation with my body, and I told my body, thank you so much for bringing this up. I'm working on this. Sometimes you have to have a little bit of help from somebody else to help you really affirm to yourself in vocal words, because words are very powerful. Thoughts and intention create our reality. That I was ready to take that pain away and replace it with another high vibrational energy, and so I named the vibrational energy that I replaced the pain with joy. And basically that cleared up my hip pain, and Brad Johnson helped me with that, and I did a show on that, a Cosmic Awakening show with Brad Johnson, talking about my experience towards the end of that show. So we have gifted healers that they don't heal us. We heal ourselves, but we've forgotten how, and sometimes we really need a little extra boost from someone who can help remind us how to get rid of these pains and diseases. Now, cancers, that's a pretty serious thing, and it's very scary, but there are over 300 natural cures for cancer, and Dr. Leonard Caldwell has brought out a lot of these, and some of the biggest ones are cannabis oil, and another thing is basically keeping your pH balance at a certain level where cancer simply cannot exist. So do your research. I'm not here to really give advice about cancer, but I do want to send my love to my friends who have exhibited this at this time, and to remind you, remember who you are, and know that everything is energy and everything is vibration, and what we're trying to do is push those last vestiges of stuck energies out of our body. We can heal ourselves, and we know this. Just please try to remember how. The energies are increasing right now to help move energies, stuck energies around, and bring them out to the open. That's why you're seeing so many people right now get sick. So many people are being, it's not that they're being beaten down, it's that this is almost like a wake-up call, the last wake-up call, in my opinion. So give everybody support, give everybody compassion and love, and let's try to help our friends get better, okay? So just want to look at my notes, make sure I'm not missing anything. Please don't be misled into leaving the planet and leaving it open for someone else to claim it. You know, some of us that are here, that are spiritual warriors, that we're putting down our swords, and we are here to reclaim the planet by occupying it. We came in the densest dark time to help raise the vibration, to remember that we needed to clear energies and to accept the cosmic energies, the source energy that's coming in from the center of the universe at this time, to integrate that into the planet, to ground ourselves, and to stay with the planet as she raises her frequency. But if she's going to raise her frequency and we haven't done our work to raise our vibrational level, then we're going to have a little bit of time to work through that. But in my opinion, personally for me, I'm not here to die in a body. I'm here to shift with the planet into a new consciousness, into a new vibrational frequency. And what is happening on this planet, in my opinion, cannot be solved in the old consciousness. We have to move out of it, and we're given the opportunity to do that coming soon. I hate that word, don't you? Soon. But you can see with what's happening on the planet, how could it ever be solved? Really? I mean, it can't be unless we get rid of the perpetrators, and that's what Earth has a plan to do. So it's all about vibrational frequency. Mostly that's the main message I wanted to give you today. However, if you want to reincarnate, you can do that. Just go towards the light and go through that process and come back, or go home and figure out how to come back that way. And in order to do that, you need to have energy. Okay, so stop being recognize who's stealing your energy and put a stop to it. Stand in your sovereign power. All of these topics can be found on In5d on the search button. Cosmic Starseeds is my other website, cosmicstarseeds.com. Use the search button there. You can find out how to raise your vibration. Okay, you can find out all of these topics that I talk about. I just wanted to make sure that I give a special talk about this. I haven't died in this lifetime, so all I'm really going on is my intuition and other people's experiences. I do a lot of research, and I have some close friends that have done this near-death experience, and they've come back here. It's most important right now to have a body. Okay, so do whatever you can to reduce your fear about dying, and increase your knowledge, and have the power of remembrance of who you are, and to know that there was a long line of people to have a body, because the body right now, when the DNA gets repaired, activated, put back together, restored, however you want to call it, what we do know is we have a problem with our DNA, but it's being infused with light and perhaps even reprogrammed to an even better version of what we were before. This can't happen until we're ready for it, and it may happen to several people at first. It may happen to people all at once. I mean, let's just not put limitations or expectations on how this is going to unfold. Just know it is unfolding, and this is a very exciting time to be here. Thank your body. Give your body gratitude for keeping you here as long as it has. If you're watching this video, unless you're earthbound and a ghost, or unless you're up in a spaceship, if you're watching this video from a human body, you can thank your body that you're here. And that's a very important part of healing, is self-love and gratitude. Okay, so very important. Be careful how much energy and emotion you give to the Archon agenda, the artificial intelligence, transhumanism agenda, the horrible things that are happening on the planet right now. It's really good. I mean, I have a website called howtoexitthematrix.com where I have a lot of that information about archons and about how we're going to exit. I'm telling you now how we're going to exit. But be careful that you don't get caught in the trap of putting all of your energy into that. And those of us that have websites have to spend a little bit of time researching and sharing information, but we don't have an emotional attachment to it. Every now and then we may get a little ticked off and angry and just want to fight even more by spreading more information. But truly, it's what you do after you learn something and research. It's what you do with your energy. Do you turn that into something positive, like, okay, now I know what I don't want. Let me focus on what I do want. Let me focus on the world that I want. Let me focus on how to get out of this. Let me focus on helping raise the overall consciousness level of humanity. We are all tied together by a human consciousness field. What you do for yourself right now affects everyone, and if you want to work really, really hard to raise your vibration and help put that energy and love into the collective human consciousness field, well, that's a great thing to do for humanity right now. So I've talked about this a lot in all my other shows. I don't want to, beat that too much. It's just it's everything to me right now. So I just want to share that with you. Don't miss the boat. It all starts with loving yourself, okay? And if you are a fractal of Source, who wouldn't want to love Source? Love yourself, okay? So I'm going to end with that as far as that information. I do want to say that this Thursday, August 20th, we have a Q&A. Going to be doing a Q&A, so get your questions ready and call in. And I will also be talking about some of the questions that I've received as a holistic life coach to share that information with you. It's all about preparation for the shift in frequencies that we're receiving. Very special announcement on August 27th. I have Dr. Simon Atkins is returning to talk about Wave X, to talk about the different stages of Wave X. He just put out a new video. Monday was his Skya show, and he says in his Skya show, I think he said the end of October or mid-October, I have to go back and look at my notes, that some people on this planet will begin to exhibit a lot more of their abilities. Okay, so if this is what you've been waiting for, your time is coming. Get ready to show humanity that something is happening. A lot of people are already exhibiting these abilities, have contacted us and told us what's happening with them. But I'm very excited to interview Simon again with an update on Wave X. We'll talk more about health. We'll talk more about how to heal yourself, okay, because it's so important. So until then, everybody, thank you for checking in on the In5d network, and I will keep you updated. Bye.